At a port in Netherlands, a man stepped out of his car to grab a quick coffee but forgot one crucial detail, setting the handbrake. Within seconds, the vehicle began to creep forward, slowly but steadily rolling toward the water. In less than 20 seconds, it was completely submerged. Hopefully that coffee was strong, because something tells me the rest of his day didn't go quite as planned. This next video highlights why it's so critical to never attempt extreme sports alone. As a recreational diver, one of the golden rules is to never dive solo and to always stay within your experience level. And I imagine the same applies to whitewater kayaking. Even with training and precautions, freak accidents can still happen. Unfortunately, that's exactly what unfolded in this clip. Take a look.
Are you okay? I got you.
In this clip, a kayaker comes across another paddler who's become dangerously wedged between a massive rock and the river's strong current. The relentless force of water pinned him in place, making it nearly impossible to move or escape. It was a race against time, as the pressure could quickly lead to exhaustion, hypothermia, or even drowning. Seeing the kayaker's head submerged beneath the rushing water is a truly nerve-wracking moment. Thankfully, in the end, everyone made it out safely.
Damn, man. I'm so bro. Can you say you were driving or? Hey, bro, don't, because I don't have a valid license, dude. Bro, we're all right, bro. Come on, don't do me like that.
I can't say that, y'all.
There isn't much to see or hear in this clip itself, but the story behind it is enough to make you think twice before getting into an Uber. The footage picks up with a man cursing frantically. It's the Uber driver and he's just been in an accident. Clearly panicked, he admits he doesn't have a valid driver's license and then has the nerve to ask his passenger to pretend they were the one driving when the police arrive.
Man. Oh, this is my everything, dude. Oh, bro. Oh,
The passenger, understandably shaken, is likely just hoping the police arrive quickly. Anything to get away from this reckless and completely unhinged driver. A shocking video out of China captures a swollen river on the verge of overflowing its banks. In the footage, a man is seen clinging to the edge, clearly struggling and pleading for help. But in a disturbing turn of events, rather than assisting him, two Chinese police officers appear to force the man to release his grip, sending him into the rushing water below. If anyone has details about this video, please share them in the comments below. It's truly disturbing to witness a man seemingly left to the mercy of a raging river. What really happened here? Did the officers try to save him but fail? Or was there something else going on entirely? It's hard to say for sure, but the footage raises serious questions. Let us know your thoughts. Most of us grew up loving the Home Alone movies, but these two wannabe bandits seemed intent on doing the opposite, spreading holiday cheer. Surveillance footage out of Los Angeles captured the moment two low-level thieves broke into a parked U-Haul filled with bags of toys meant for a children's charity event. After prying open the truck and realizing the haul was worth their time, the pair casually left only to return moments later with their own vehicle. Then, without a hint of shame, they began loading the stolen gifts into their getaway car, gifts that were supposed to bring joy to hundreds of kids. If you took from a stalled vehicle, you're clearly a complete piece of crap, but stealing gifts for Christmas is especially horrific. A woman was injured by a large piece of ice that fell from the roof of a residential building in Novosibirsk, Russia, on April 1, 2022, as she was crossing two apartment towers. Witnesses contacted emergency services right away. Her precise health was not divulged when she was brought to the hospital, and there have been no updates from the local authorities. During the Texas flood, a woman is hanging onto a tree branch for dear life. Devon Smith, aged 22, was swept 20 miles down the river and was hanging onto this tree for over an hour before getting saved. 4 members of her family were discovered deceased. The 5th has yet to be found.
I was hollering across the river. She saw me. She told of RVs that would pass her by, vehicles, refrigerators.
On June 16, 2024, a couple strolling along a beach in Sochi, Russia, found themselves in a terrifying situation shortly after a storm had swept through the region. While the skies had cleared, the danger wasn't over. The beach they were walking on borders the Black Sea, a body of water notorious for its pollution, leftover naval mines, and unpredictable wave patterns. Following storms, rogue waves are known to crash against the shoreline without warning, making not just commercial boating but even beach going extremely risky. The couple appeared to be enjoying a peaceful moment when the woman gently tugged her partner to venture a little deeper into the water. But just as they turned to head back, a sudden powerful wave surged in, knocking them off their feet. They struggled to regain their footing, but just as it seemed they might get back to shore, a third and even stronger wave came crashing down, pulling them further into danger. Despite the man's desperate attempts to save her, his girlfriend was swept away right before his eyes. The churning water suggests she was likely caught in a rip current, a powerful force that's extremely difficult to escape from, even for experienced swimmers. Tragically, her body wasn't recovered until 3 days later. This heartbreaking event is a stark reminder how dangerous the ocean can be. It's vital to understand the different types of waves and currents that can form after storms, especially sneaker waves, sudden surges of water that appear without warning. These waves can be deadly, taking 2 to 4 lives every year along the Oregon coast alone. Just one wave, 5 feet high and 10 feet long, can exert thousands of pounds of force. Never underestimate the sea, know the risks, respect the water, and stay safe, everyone. Chicago has long grappled with its share of armed robberies, and November 2024 was no exception. Authorities released the following surveillance footage hoping the public could help identify those involved. In the clip, suspect number 1 enters a convenience store dressed in a bulky coat, wearing a mask and holding a shotgun. He heads straight for the counter, but when he realizes there's no one behind the register, he starts casually wandering through the store, weapon still in hand. A moment later, suspect number 2 appears on camera. Without hesitation, he slips behind the counter and grabs an item. Though it's unclear exactly what, the two move with an unsettling sense of calm, as if they'd done this before. At this point, both suspects head straight for the back room, disappearing behind the swinging door. The first suspect eventually reemerges, but notably, he's no longer wearing his coat or mask. An odd move for someone in the middle of a robbery. It raises several questions. Was this planned with help from someone on the inside? Why come in covered up just to remove your disguise later? And if he was familiar with the store, surely he'd know there were cameras recording. Whatever the case, let's hope the footage gave Chicago PD enough to identify and catch them. On June 26, 2023, YouTuber Glenn set off with his dog Finn for a camping trip in the Lake District, UK. The scenic region lies just south of Mungersdale, an area known for chilling legends, especially the tale of a phantom army said to march through its hills. Glenn had heard the stories before, but curiosity got the better of him. He wanted to experience the place firsthand. After a full day of exploring the rugged terrain, he and Finn set up camp as night began to fall. But as darkness settled over the hills, something happened that Glenn never anticipated. Something that will leave a lasting impression. What his camera captured next is something you need to see.
That's okay. I think I'm going to head back to the tent now and settle down, get a little bit of kip, hopefully not get woken up in the night. I think it's going to be a very early start in the morning because it's going to get very light soon. Not long at all. What the Oh, what the hell? There's a bloke stood next to my tent. What the That has absolutely scared the out of me. I'm not kidding you. I was walking down there, coming back towards the tent, talking to you guys. I'm telling you right now, there was somebody stood right here. Oh, I'm not kidding you, the hairs on my arms are stood up. My skin is crawling.
He checks his tent to make sure nothing was disturbed. Then he looks outside one last time before settling in and reviewing what he had witnessed.
I think I'll get any kip at all. I'll be just paranoid all night. I mean, there's still quite a lot of light outside. And, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm just saying this. There's still quite a lot of light outside. And I'm just half expecting a silhouette to go past. I'm just hearing loads of noises. I know you hear loads of noises anyway when you're in the tent because the tent's flapping and there's bits of grass against it and there's all sorts of weirdness, but I'm completely spooked. Anyway, we'll see how we get on.
Following the panic, he returns home with minimal trouble. However, it wasn't until he started editing the footage that you knew he had captured something. Afterwards, when he returns to the same location, he goes into more detail about what actually transpired.
Sort of tried to forget about it, and the morning came. Yeah, he's still alive, that's good. Nothing happened. And it wasn't until I got home that I played the footage back. And if you've seen the video, you'll see that it cuts out. It cuts out as I turn the camera around and start walking that direction. I was still filming then. I was still going towards that grass and looking and everything. And I didn't know until I got home that actually that footage, because you can't play it on the back on the, you can't play it back on the camera, it's rubbish. I didn't find out until I got home that the camera, for some reason, just stopped recording as soon as I turned around. However, and I'll put it on the screen now, I caught something. There was something stood by the tent. Something tall, something scary looking, but pretty much what I saw, you know. So what I saw was actually there. And I'm going to tell people this story. They always go, oh yeah, whatever. You know, the camera cut out, yeah, whatever. But it did. It actually did cut out. But it was, yeah, just watching that back at home. I sat in my little office and I had absolute chills up and down my spine. It terrified me looking at it.
He had more questions than answers after the encounter, regardless of whether this man is a member of the spectral army mentioned in the myths. His channel is pretty rad though, so check it out. Another armed robbery involving a masked suspect occurred on the 1800 block of 78th Street in Chicago. Surveillance footage shows the man walking along a dimly lit street in January. At one point, he stops and loiters near several parked vehicles. He eventually opens one, steals a few items, and then enters a nearby apartment building. additional surveillance footage captures the suspect holding a flashlight and what appears to be cash, allegedly stolen from the van. He also seems to be armed. He's now facing charges of armed robbery, and authorities believe he may be connected to a series of similar break-ins. A senior citizen was riding in an electric tricycle in Jiangsu Province, China, on June 12, 2025, when the vehicle unexpectedly lost control and surged. Both the individual and the trike fell into the passageway when it slammed through the elevator doors. After hearing the loud bang, those in the vicinity hurried to investigate. Rescue workers were contacted right away. When rescuers showed up, they dragged the person from the shaft. They sustained several fractures. After receiving emergency care, they were subsequently deemed safe, based on reports. It's unknown if the incident was caused by a technical malfunction or something else, because the cause was not disclosed. However, a significant occurrence such as this one underscores the possible hazards associated with personal mobility cars, particularly for older people. In mid-June, YouTuber Kendall Turner filmed some bizarre and unexplained footage while visiting a golf course in Florida.
Oh my gosh! So what is that? What
the hell?
The eerie figure immediately stirred up online buzz, with many viewers convinced they were witnessing genuine paranormal activity. Others were quick to dismiss the footage, offering more grounded explanations. Some speculated that the ghost might actually be a simple reflection, possibly of someone standing behind the camera, distorted by glass and lighting conditions. Despite the ongoing debate, no clear answer has been confirmed, leaving the so-called ghostly golfer as an unsolved mystery that continues to spark curiosity from both skeptics and true believers. While most robberies end without injury, this one took a much darker turn. Surveillance footage captures a San Antonio police officer in the midst of a traffic stop. The suspect, who was standing in the street, was already wanted for aggravated robbery.
I see your. He's got a gun! He's got a gun! Hey, he's got a gun! Let's go, let's go. He's got a gun!
As officers moved in to arrest her, the passenger suddenly pulled a gun and the vehicle took off at high speed. This triggered a police pursuit that ended with the suspects fleeing into a wooded area, prompting a full-scale search.
He's in the wooded area to your right.
A helicopter outfitted with night vision technology was brought in to assist with the search. As the chase unfolded, the armed suspect eventually found himself trapped against a fence with nowhere left to run.
He's got a gun in his hand, gun in his right hand. Gun in his hand.
Drop the gun! Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun! Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun!
After the suspect raised his weapon, officers were forced to respond with lethal force. He was later pronounced deceased at the scene. In July 2023, a deeply disturbing incident occurred in India involving a 53-year-old elephant trainer who was fatally crushed by the very animal he was trying to control. The trainer had been striking the elephant with a bamboo stick when the animal suddenly turned on him. Despite being revered in Indian culture as sacred beings, often adorned and paraded in festivals, many elephants endure daily abuse behind the scenes. Beneath the garlands and ceremonial paint often lie scars from hooks, chains, and beatings used to keep them submissive. This particular encounter captured on video some of the most haunting footage available. While the trainer attempted to force the elephant to move, the massive 2,000-pound animal retaliated, slamming him to the ground and stepping on him repeatedly with its full weight. Tragically, the man remained conscious through much of the attack, as his head was initially spared. It wasn't until the overwhelming trauma and pain overcame him that he lost consciousness. The elephant then used its trunk to hurl the man aside. Another trainer eventually intervened, managing to lead the elephant away. The man later died from his injuries. According to available reports, the park where this took place was shut down, but the fate of the elephant remains unknown. It's important to stress elephants, when treated with respect and compassion, are capable of forming strong, peaceful bonds with humans. They are intelligent, emotional creatures and play an essential role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. They deserve protection, not pain. And while they should never be approached in the wild, they also shouldn't be feared without cause. Above all, we must do more to ensure their safety and dignity for their sake and ours. On the night of November 14, 2022, what began as a routine welfare check quickly spiraled into a real-life nightmare for 24-year-old Officer Wade. A tenant had contacted police out of concern for her elderly neighbor who was reportedly living with a younger, aggressive man named Webb. When Officer Wade arrived at the residence, he immediately sensed something was off. The layout of the home featured only one entrance and exit, and Webb's behavior instantly raised red flags. He insisted that the officer step inside first, effectively placing himself between Wade and the only way out.
After you. You said you gotta make sure you got an animal or something? Yeah. Go ahead.
As if that weren't alarming enough, Webb suddenly grabbed a heavy metal object, later identified as a brake rotor, and used it to block the door behind them. The situation had just taken a dangerously dark turn.
What's that for?
Oh no, to block the door and swings open.
Ah, gotcha. You wanna just knock on the door for me?
Rocky? She's laying on her bed.
Hey, Dorothy!
20 foot.
Where's your bed at?
There.
After you. You got any lights here?
Yeah.
You got the lights on?
She can pay the bill.
Oh. Hey, you just go in there for me?
Yeah, no.
What do you mean?
She's right here.
Oh. She's right here? Dorothy? Is she sleeping?
Yes.
Okay. How long has she been sleeping for?
Like since 6.
What's the bag for?
She wets the bed.
She wets the bed? You gotta cover it like that.
Because you're in here, well, I open the window and stuff.
Okay, you pull the cover back for me?
Dorothy?
Why is she covered up like that? Her face.
You sleeping?
Alright, just step back for me. Is Dorothy? Miss Dorothy? Why don't she got flowers and stuff on her like that? Okay, step back. Step back.
She's dead, sir.
What do you mean she's dead?
She's dead. I was going to call her relatives in the morning.
Okay. Put your hands up.
The phone's in my room.
Put your hands up.
Alright.
Turn off. Put your hands behind your back. 5446. Can I get another squad to my location? I'm a supervisor.
34, take off the line.
On the ground.
She's going to take her home.
On the ground. On the ground. On your stomach.
You shoot me.
No, on your stomach.
Please shoot me.
Sir, on your
You
stomach.
gotta shoot me.
Okay. You're doing too much.
Okay, don't take it. Don't take it.
No, you're gonna get to
Okay,
this.
I'm down.
Put your hands behind your back. Now. Hands behind your back. Behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. your other hand behind your back.
What was the address again?
Your other hand behind your back.
348
Sure, you're-
open the door.
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Put your hand behind your back. Your other hand. Yep, put it behind your back. Don't move. What you gonna do? Stop! Stop resisting! Stop!
Officer Wade requests assistance at this point in the altercation as Webb reaches for his weapon.
Drop the ball. Do you know what I see? Do it! Sir? Right in the f***ing face, man! Right in the face, come on! Come on! Drop the ball. Come on! Right in the face, man, please! Drop right in the face! On the ground now! Right in the face, come on. On the ground. Make it quick. On the ground. Please make it quick. Okay, don't change this.
As Officer Wade struggled to restrain Webb, additional officers managed to force their way through the blocked door. Upon gaining entry, Webb hurled a brake rotor at them, prompting the officers to open fire. Webb was ultimately subdued and survived his injuries. Officer Wade emerged unharmed, and all officers involved were later cleared of any criminal wrongdoing. As for Dorothy, the elderly woman officers were initially called to check on, she had already passed away from lung cancer. There was no evidence suggesting Webb had any involvement in her death. However, he was charged with disarming a peace officer, resisting arrest, and bail jumping. Given his history of legal trouble and mental health issues, it's believed he was desperate to avoid returning to jail. As of now, the case remains open. Check out this terrifying close call a motorcyclist had while crossing train tracks in Southeast Asia. The near miss is a stark reminder how chaotic things can get in places where traffic laws are either loosely enforced or outright ignored. It's shocking how often sheer luck is the only thing keeping people alive in situations like this. A powerful dust and downpour that hit Lahore, Pakistan on June 29, 2025 uprooted trees, knocked off power, and caused unexpected building collapses. An individual was hit when a big billboard lost way in the gusts of wind and fell on him as he was crossing the parking lot next to a nearby business. He was hurt in the collision. Although emergency personnel were contacted, no additional information regarding his identity or health was disclosed. The region's continuing rainfall surge prompted cautions from the Pakistan Meteorological Department. Authorities have warned citizens to stay away from places with unsteady buildings and overhanging signage since additional storms are predicted.
Even if it wasn't hot out, you left a 9-month-old in a vehicle unattended with the doors open for hundreds of people to walk past.
Right.
On July 7, 2024, officers were dispatched to a mall parking lot following a report that several young ones had been left unattended in a vehicle.
I'm just irritated. I told her I was irritated. Why the situation? It took me more time to find my car in this big ass parking lot than it did to get my food.
Okay.
But
did she have to come back with food?
She did.
Okay.
How long were you
guys out here for?
Maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
It wasn't an hour. It wasn't,
Okay. Were the kids like sweating or no?
He said he was sweating, but she said they were at the pool. You see my shorts? We literally just got out the swimming pool. His clothes are still wet.
Okay.
Like, this is for me being outside.
Okay. Is there a reason you left him in the car and you didn't take him in there?
He was asleep. The baby was asleep, and I was like, okay. And then I couldn't find a parking spot closer, so I pulled up over there. But like, they both well fit, all types of shit. Y'all want me to take my car?
Are you okay?
I
understand you're upset, but when we get a call saying that you left your kids in the vehicle and when it's super hot outside.
I've worked in rehabilitation centers. I'm an HST. I'm a DSP. I got all that. I know. Trust me. I get it. But what I'm telling you is that it was just cold a few minutes ago. It was breezy as hell, and we had just got out the pool. It started raining, so I was not gonna bring him in there with me. And knowing that I had to walk around with him, no, I wasn't. So yes, I did leave him. Yes, I did leave my windows down. No, I was not lollygagging, nothing like that. I ordered my food. My phone is dead. Otherwise, I was gonna show y'all. I ordered my food before I even went in. All I had to do was wait in line to pick my food up. Then it took me longer to find my car. All I kept doing was this, because this parking lot big as shit.
The mom gives her side of the story, and officers are working to determine how long the youngsters were left in the vehicle.
I'm still.
How long do you think you were gone for?
It wasn't long at all. I don't know shit. I just know it wasn't long at all.
5, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
No, not no 10, 15, 20 minutes. No, none of that. But I mean, hey, as y'all could tell, he's not, you feel me?
He looks a little funny, but I don't know if it's, mean, it's
the windows down.
Yeah, you gotta understand you can't just be leaving your kids unattended like that. I understand you just want to go in there and grab your food.
All right,
but that
their food.
Right, their food.
Yeah, but okay.
Especially in this hot weather, you know.
That's what I'm saying, but it was just windy and it was just raining like what? That's why we got out of the pool. That's why I left him in there because he still has wet clothes on. My son literally was just like, Mom, can we go to calm down? We just came from the pool.
Hang tight for me for a minute. We're trying to figure out how long your kids were in the car by themselves. That's all we're trying. That's gonna determine what we're gonna do the next steps.
Okay, yeah, that's fine by me because shit, this mall big as shit. I was on one side or the other. It took me longer to get to the car than it did ever to get the food.
When I go on the camera.
So it took you a while to find where you were going in there?
What you mean? Like to get the car?
You said it's so big, it took you a while to figure out where you're going?
Yeah, it's confusing as hell. I'm steady walking past it. It's right there by the front.
Walking circles around it?
It's right there by the front of the mall. That's why I had to ask a guy. I stopped to ask a gentleman. I literally went in there. My phone died. I had to put my phone on the charger. It literally came on because they got the fast charger after like not even a whole minute. Paid for my food. Then I came back out here, was steady doing this. I wasn't nowhere near my car because it didn't go off. Then I see her truck and I'm like, I'm finna go ask her to come help me find my car. Next thing you know, she telling me that they done called y'all to come get my kids.
The mother continues getting defensive, treating this as if it were no big deal.
Yeah, y'all can't understand. Okay, like I went to get the food. I didn't go in there. I didn't go shopping. I didn't do none of that.
We're not saying you disowned them. We're just saying that you abandoned them for a while and then came back. Yeah, you left them to. How old is he?
I'm not gonna argue with you.
He's
Okay,
probably 2.
No, he's 8. He's 9 months. He'll be 9 months on 13.
Even worse then.
When he's sleeping in a car when it was just raining, we just came out.
Listen
the pool.
to me.
You see what I'm saying?
You say you're a mandated reporter, then you should know this inside and out. That is complete neglect to leave a 9-month-old in a car that is unlocked in this heat.
Yep, you're right, sir.
And leave him. That is.
It wasn't hot. That's why I kept him in the car. It was literally raining after we got out of the pool.
Do you feel the heat out here?
Now I do. Yes, I get it. But
even if it wasn't hot out, you left a 9-month-old in a vehicle unattended with the doors open
my family's 9.5 hours away.
for
Please just give me a
hundreds of people to walk past.
Right.
This kid could be in Will County by now.
Right.
That is totally unacceptable on a mother level.
Right. Okay, well, let's just hopefully pray.
And not only did you just leave
happen.
one, you left 2.
Right.
These kids cannot fend for themselves.
Right.
So I don't see why you're thinking this is no big deal.
I'm not
It's a complete big deal with your actions.
I'm just frustrated because right now they're all I got. Y'all sitting here talking about it's not acceptable. Okay, I get that. It wasn't on purpose to sit here and act like I was just completely neglecting my kids. I left him in here with good intention. I was trying to make sure he didn't get sick. Okay, we just got out the pool. You see, I'm still soaked. So yes, I did try to leave my kid and make sure that I took care of him. If that's neglectful, because I left him in there and the car and it got high and people see him. Okay, cool. I get it. But y'all sitting here basically trying to, you feel me? Like it's making me feel like y'all trying to take my kids. I don't have shit else but them. So yes, if I'm wrong for going to get food, okay, I'm adult enough to sit there and take that accountability.
And then without even knowing the exact time frame that they're going to see on the cameras, just the statement from you that you're walking around the mall trying to find it, and then the fact that you don't even know where the car is, that you admitted you couldn't even find your car.
I remember exactly what door, because I walked
in and out of it. You said you were walking around in the parking lot, so that is, you left these kids in a parking lot for X amount of time while you're tootling around the mall.
Right.
And then you can't even come back and find them?
Right.
Do you see where the issue is with that?
Right. Well, it didn't take me long. But okay. But if y'all are like, if that's what y'all gonna do, I need to call my mom because at this point it's given that y'all trying to snatch my kids. And that's not, I'm really not okay with that at all. Oh, I can't even call my fucking mama right now. I don't have nobody. Y'all don't understand that. It's just me and my kids.
Okay.
So do y'all know how far Kong Dog is? It's literally like right there.
Okay, so you're saying, I'm just going to clarify some questions with you, okay? You said it was about 10 minutes, right?
Ma'am, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you because I really honestly,
we just need
I can't tell you my phone.
Listen to me, okay? I have to do a police report regardless, okay?
I understand that. I'm not trying to stop y'all from nothing.
I need to ask you some questions and you just have to give me approximate what you think, okay? Because I need it for the police report.
Approximately like 10 minutes. A Kong Dog is literally right in there. You take a left and you go like 3-4 stores down and he can even vouch for me. It's
but
not
I just
that
want to
far.
clarify that. But you said you were walking circles around it and you couldn't find it.
Yeah, so I kept walking past it, like the entrance right there, just because I thought it was about
to. So that's why I'm just not believing 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I would believe you if you went straight there and back. But if you said you were lost in there and walking circles and past it, 1 second, let me finish.
The parking lot.
You're walking circles in there, walking back and forth past it, and then you come out here and you couldn't find your vehicle either. And then you're walking around and then you see the security, and then it just happens the security's out with your vehicle and your children.
was like this when I left. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Literally, like,
and
we
you
came
understand that it's neglect. No matter how long you left your kids for, you understand that it's
y'all
neglect.
put that in my head. I don't even understand how.
Okay.
I would never neglect shit. I won't even use the word neglect at this point because this shit is just like this traumatizing. I even have to deal with this. Like, I get it. Thank God my kids was okay. Thank God I wasn't gone and one of the moms had left the windows open, et cetera, but it will never happen.
Because what
again.
would have happened if your kids would have gotten snatched or something?
The officer charged her with child endangerment after reviewing the video and finding that she had left the youngsters alone for about 30 minutes. This live on-air theft attempt occurred during a local news segment in Rio de Janeiro, ironically during a report about theft. While a reporter was interviewing a woman on the street in broad daylight, a thief suddenly ran up and tried to rip the necklace off her neck. Fortunately, he failed and fled empty-handed. Still, the entire incident was caught on camera, underscoring just how common petty theft can be in certain parts of Rio. According to the BBC, crimes like this happen frequently and are often carried out by young offenders. If you're planning to travel, especially to high-risk areas, always stay alert and avoid displaying valuables in public. You never know who might be watching. In January 2020, a drone captured chilling footage over the roof of a stadium in St. Petersburg, Russia. At the time, the stadium was in the process of being demolished, and the workers shown in the video were simply carrying out their duties. According to multiple news outlets, the drone was operated by a media team that was documenting the demolition process, but what was meant to be a routine footage quickly turned into something far more disturbing, something no one expected to witness that day. As the workers continued with their tasks, the roof suddenly gave way beneath them. The drone footage captured the terrifying moment as the structure began to collapse, with workers desperately clinging to anything within reach. One of them was in a cage suspended by a crane, narrowly escaping the fall. Another worker made a desperate attempt to reach the cage, but tragically failed. Emergency crews rushed to the scene in hopes of finding survivors. Sadly, the worker who fell did not make it. Rescue efforts continued as officials searched for others who might have been trapped beneath the debris. Authorities later reported that around 80% of the stadium had collapsed. In the aftermath, it was revealed that the deceased worker, identified as Kirov, had not been wearing a safety harness at the time of the incident. This detail sparked serious concerns about safety protocol and regulatory enforcement on demolition sites. Posted by New Bedford Guide in April 2016, this unsettling video shows the moment a home was broken into while the owner was away. Fortunately, the homeowner had remote access to his home security cameras and was watching a live feed when the burglary began. Realizing what was happening, he quickly contacted the Fairhaven Police Department. In the footage, the sound of glass breaking can be heard, likely the intruders forcing their way in through a rear door.
Hey, baby. It's okay. How you doing?
Soon after, a man wearing white gloves, a white hat, and dark sunglasses appears on camera and opens the front door for another suspect. He briefly appears to interact with the homeowner's dog, possibly trying to calm it down with a treat, although the dog doesn't appear until later in the recording. The pair then head upstairs, likely looking for valuables to steal. Thanks to the homeowner's fast reaction, officers arrived at the home just in time. They surrounded the property and found both suspects still inside on the second floor. The two were arrested at the scene and later charged.
Go get to a house. That's not wrong. I didn't break into anything. You said you needed help. Grab stuff. That was it.
The entire incident serves as a clear reminder how real-time surveillance and quick thinking can stop a crime before it escalates. A man on a motorcycle just avoided a fatal accident in June 28, 2025 in Ninh An Province, Vietnam, when he attempted to cross the street without first looking for vehicles. There was a truck coming. The rider did not stop despite the driver's repeated honking. He was struck straight by the truck a few seconds later. His bike was crushed beneath the wheels, inches from his torso, as he was flung to the pavement. Local authorities report that the gentleman only suffered slight injuries. On March 30th, a TikToker shared a chilling video while staying at a hotel with her 3-year-old daughter. The location was never disclosed, but what she captured sent shivers through viewers. While using the bathroom mirror, she glanced under the sink and happened to look up. What she found left her deeply unsettled.
Room, and I'm on the floor under the sink cleaning up, and I decide to look up. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. Dad, we're gonna have to figure out who was in this room with their dad. This is insane. Oh my God. Dad. Help. Oh my God.
Etched or written above her, on the underside of the counter, were disturbing messages that appeared to be desperate pleas for help, left behind by someone who had previously stayed in the room. Alarmed by the discovery, she immediately began recording. The cryptic messages seemed like something out of a horror movie, prompting serious concern over what may have happened in that room before she arrived.
So I called the police. They are on the way out here. I guess I'll let y'all know if anybody cares what happens or what they decide to do.
What's most disturbing are the crude, childlike drawings visible in the footage, depictions of scenes too unsettling to even describe here. After posting the video, it quickly went viral, racking up over 8 million views as viewers expressed concern and speculation over who might have left the disturbing messages. Toward the end of the clip, the woman assures viewers that she had already contacted the police, hoping they could investigate and uncover who was responsible for leaving such troubling imagery behind. But the situation didn't end there. When police finally responded, the woman quickly realized they wouldn't be of much help. They dismissed the disturbing images as simple graffiti and told her there was nothing they could do. Because she'd already been in the room for some time, security footage from outside the door was no longer accessible. They advised her to notify the front desk instead. When she did, the response was shockingly casual. Rather than showing concern, the hotel staff simply said they'd send someone to paint over it in the morning. Later, she posted another update. Things took an unsettling turn. Police began asking her personal questions about her and her daughter's backgrounds, going so far as to suggest that her 3-year-old daughter might have been the one to draw the disturbing images, despite the child not even knowing how to write or draw yet. After the hotel management became aware of the viral TikTok, they reportedly began looking for any excuse to remove her from the premises.
School this morning, when I got back, they informed me that I have to leave the hotel. The reason is because it's against hotel policy to record a staff member. I feel like that's crazy because she was in my room. Like, I understand if I was at the front desk recording her, but she was in my room. And it was the back of her. Y'all, like, you couldn't even see her face.
As of now, she's done everything she can think of. She's relocated to a new hotel for her safety and peace of mind and is currently waiting on the release of the police body cam footage from her earlier interactions, hoping it might offer some clarity or support for her disturbing discovery. This video, which surfaced on Instagram in 2024, was recorded by a fellow biker using a GoPro. The footage is captured from a first-person's perspective, making for an immersive experience. While this kind of view can look stunning when everything's going smoothly, it becomes downright terrifying when things suddenly take a turn for the worse. As the biker cruised along, his ride suddenly turned into a nightmare when he was struck by the infamous death wobble, an unpredictable and violent shaking of the handlebars that can catch even the most experienced riders off guard. These moments are terrifying and have led to countless injuries and even fatalities over the years. But in this case, the rider managed to stay calm and ride it out. What stood out in the video was his approach. Instead of gripping the handlebars tightly or trying to fight the wobble, he kept his body steady and let the bike stabilize naturally, a move that surpassed surprised many viewers. The clip sparked discussions about the importance of installing steering dampers, which can help prevent this kind of dangerous instability from happening in the first place. A new post from the Ghosts of London Facebook page has sparked fear and curiosity among its followers, prompting many to dig deeper in search of an explanation. The caption claims the photo was taken during a ghost hunt at a now shuttered orphanage. Although the exact location remains undisclosed due to privacy concerns, the chilling image captured during the visit is undeniably disturbing. The caption clearly states that no one was standing behind the pair at the time, and the space was too tight for anyone to physically fit there. This unsettling detail sparked serious questions about the photo's authenticity and what exactly was captured in the background. To this day, the eerie figure has yet to be explained, transforming what was meant to be a routine ghost hunt into a chilling piece of potential paranormal evidence, and a lingering mystery that continues to haunt skeptics and believers alike. People in Uzbekistan recorded this video, which was first uploaded to TikTok on January 24. It depicts them lighting a lantern, most likely to celebrate the new year. It may have additionally been captured during the Lantern Festival, which is held in Uzbekistan to commemorate the Chinese Shanghai or Capgo Festival. The men joyfully let the lantern depart, but they failed to release it in the proper spot, which led to it colliding with their home. But that would have been the least of their worries a short while afterwards. Watch this.
البته خورق منگلر همه مینه نظارت مستده الله راضی باشه
When the lantern struck the house, it lodged itself beneath the roof tiles, a seemingly minor mishap that quickly turned catastrophic. As the video progresses, flames begin to spread rapidly, eventually engulfing the entire home. Firefighters arrived promptly and did everything they could to contain the blaze, but despite their efforts, the house appeared to be completely destroyed. While it's easy to point fingers at those who released the lantern, no one could have predicted such a devastating outcome from what likely began as a well-meaning gesture. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on September 5, 2024. While traveling along Linha Vermelha, one of the city's principal highways, a couple barely avoided being robbed. An automobile abruptly blocks their way close to an off-ramp in dashcam footage. Two armed people get out of the car. One of them dashes over to the victim's vehicle while brandishing a gun. The driver tries to flee by instantly reversing. There is a gunshot, although reports state that the bullet did not strike the car.
11:45 ou 11:55.
Fodeu. Não.
Sai. Abaixa.
Vai.
Abaixa, já passei já.
O que foi?
Já passei já, passava. Já foi.
Vai, Mauro, acelera.
Já foi. Levanta.
Cadê eles?
Já foi, foram de amarela. Eu falei abaixa. Eu sabia que ia acontecer alguma coisa, eu tava sentindo no meu coração.
Eu também. Amor?
Oi, já foi, eles estão de amarela.
Acelera. Não, tô só. Acelera, por
Já foi,
favor.
pô, já foi.
Eu não confio.
Vida, eles foram na amarela, fica tranquilo.
E esses carros aqui vindo?
Nada, fica tranquilo, já foi.
Esse carro aqui vindo.
Thankfully, the pair was able to leave the area unharmed. Here's an amazing video displaying teamwork in even the most frightening situation. A motorcycle bursts into flames seemingly out of nowhere before bystanders got together with fire extinguishers to put out the flames. Like and subscribe if you found that wholesome. In this video, body cam footage shows an insane confrontation between police and an abusive boyfriend. Before we get into that, listen to the girl's side of the story.
I don't know what you can do about it. He's in the house, so it's my boyfriend.
Okay.
Every time he drinks, he gets angry, and, you know, he's drinking. I wasn't going to leave my daughter with him for tonight while I go to work, because I work in Pakistan at night. And so he's like, yeah, no, just take her. And then he started making fun of her because she's autistic and just belligerent. And then he swung at me. He actually caught my cheek, but I'm not hurt. I'm fine. The reason why I can't call the police because I will get evicted from my apartment. My landlord's told me because there's been multiple times that the cops have been called, whatever. I've called them, whatever. I came here to at least see if I can catch one of you guys so I can talk to you guys in person rather than be so dramatic about it. But I locked my front door, so I said, hey, when you calm down, you can come back in the house. He kicked the door down.
Okay.
So everything in the house looks crazy because of him. Threatening me, talking about bring your brothers, and my brothers have never fought him as many times as he did what he's done to me and in front of my kid. I've never had him gotten beaten up. I could do all that, but I'm not going to because I care about him too. But I'm tired of it, and this is abuse. And he's like, yeah, like, you know, I'm not going anywhere because the cops already said that I could stay here technically. I've had to sleep out of my own house with my kid because of him. The door is off the hinges. Like, I don't have a door.
The officers arrived at the home and were notified the man cut himself to try and put the blame on his girlfriend. Here's how it went down.
Police department, I saw you at the window. Open the door.
Open the door, police department.
Oh, so he did break the door off the hinges.
Do we know for a fact he killed himself?
I called, I asked the call taker. I said, what did she say? Just text, no pictures.
Police department.
Honestly, you're doing too much, bro.
Okay, stop.
Honestly,
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Up on my property, bro.
Now you're...
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Adrian, get out here right now. Adrian, come out right now with your hands up. Adrian. Come out right now.
What's up?
Adrian.
Come on.
You on my property.
Adrian.
What's up?
Stop.
What's
Stop.
up?
Stop.
Bitch, you got big. What's up?
Stop.
What's up?
Adrian.
To no one's surprise, he got violent. Also, to no one's surprise, it didn't work. He got cuffed up, but things didn't end there. Keep watching.
Resisting?
Yes, stop.
Boy, you're sued. You're sued.
Got it?
Yeah. It's me. Put your hands on. Put your hands on. You're sued, bro. You're sued.
I have
Oh, yeah, I'm on.
Right here, 11.
What's that?
Nothing. I was on. What the are you shaking for? Stop shaking. Oh, yeah. Lawsuit, bro. Get it.
Stop resisting.
Big lawsuit, bro. Biden? No, yeah, Biden.
Let's sit you up, okay?
Do it, bro. You
Sit up, right there. Sit right there. Don't move.
what it is, bro.
He put up a fight, even making the woman officer bleed. He was so out of control, they had to strap him down.
The squad gun. Relax, bro. Where's the ass, bro?
Off the side, off the... Sit down. Squad's right here. Calm down, bro.
11, we're 72 at point. Bro, yo, I swear to God, bro. Don't f with a mental pain. Hey, listen. Nigga, Corona, what it is? Get it, bro. You want this? This is what you want. This is what you want. What it is? Man, bro. No, my skin, I can't breathe.
We're good. We're good. Hey, Peck. Hey, Peck. Can we get him on the stretcher? Can we get him on here? Because he's starting to bang his head. Let's go, bro.
What's his name? Yeah. You on the right, bottom right, bottom right. Yeah, back.
Knock it off, bro. Knock it off. Bro, you do not spit.
You're gonna kill me.
Spit.
If you guys,
please don't kill me.
You're fine, bro.
The 24-year-old man was charged of failing to submit to fingerprinting and aggravated assault on a police officer. Reddit user Confident Cherry 392 recently posted chilling dashcam footage from a family road trip on a highway in Oregon. What began as a normal drive suddenly escalated into a tense situation. As danger became apparent, the driver quickly threw the car into reverse, narrowly avoiding what could have been a serious encounter. The video quickly gained traction online, with viewers applauding the family's fast response. Many pointed out how crucial their quick thinking was, noting that just a few seconds of hesitation could have led to a very different and possibly tragic outcome. A pair of Rolex thieves were caught in a sting operation by undercover officers posing as a wealthy couple in Mayfair, London. On October 10th at around 6:15 p.m., Jakob Harkett, 21, who has no fixed address, attempted to steal a luxury watch from the plainclothed officers in Hayes Mews. He was quickly apprehended, along with 35-year-old Mohammed Naz of Jamaica Road, Southwark. Harkett later pleaded guilty to robbery, while Naz was found guilty after a trial at Southwark Crown Court on April 11th. Harkett received a 2-year prison sentence, and Naz was sentenced to 3 years behind bars. This footage comes from a helmet-mounted camera worn by a man driving a track-focused Porsche supercar on the Nürburgring, Germany's iconic racetrack. But this isn't your typical racing video. In fact, it's anything but ordinary. Since the Nürburgring is a public racetrack, high-speed driving is not only allowed, it's expected. Drivers are supposed to stay alert and make way for faster vehicles. In this case, though, a collision occurred between two cars, leading to a fiery explosion as the Porsche burst into flames. Remarkably, everyone survived the crash, highlighting just how effective the safety measures are in modern high-performance cars. This clip is from Degenerate Wilderness, a newer YouTube channel that's gained attention for its wild camping trips, questionable timing with the weather, and a chaotic vibe that somehow always includes clear audio. The video begins on a cheerful note as the group reaches a spot called Rattlesnake in Ohio. Everyone's in good spirits, at least at the start.
Headed to Rattlesnake down in somewhere Ohio. It's pretty good. Got the string lights from Amazon, wetsuits right there. Tarp we're gonna throw up. I just got this new, which one is it? Nemo something.
Moonlight Elite.
Yeah.
Nemo chair.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. About £1, not bad at all.
Very expensive though, but
yeah, really expensive. We just got, all three of us upgraded our sleeping pads because the Amazon ones were not cutting it. Look at that. That's a sleeping pad.
The group jokes around about their new sleeping pads, Amazon string lights, and sleek ultralight chairs. There's lots of laughter, some gear showboating, and a general sense that the looming storm is no big deal, but that carefree attitude quickly fades.
Let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go. Christian, come on. Is this the right way?
Wait, might be more left.
I think it's
right.
left. Yeah, I think it's that way. Emergency evacuation.
Evacuation.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
This is insane.
Flying debris.
The weather shifts fast. What started as vague thunderstorm warnings quickly escalates into a full-blown emergency. In no time, they're facing winds stopping 80 miles per hour, tornado alerts, and debris flying through the air. The group goes from joking to scrambling. They race for the car, only to realize the keys were left behind. That small oversight suddenly becomes a serious problem. No one wants to go back alone. The woods are thrashing with sideways rain. Hail the size of golf balls starts pelting down, and lightning flashes nonstop. After a tense back and forth, they decide to return as a group. It's the only option. What follows is a frantic rain-soaked hike through chaos. Trails are flooded, visibility is low, and no one knows what they'll find when they get back. Miraculously, the campsite isn't destroyed. The string lights still glow, tents are battered but intact, and the firewood somehow made it. There's disbelief and shaky relief as they take stock. That night, they find out 14 people in nearby Kentucky weren't so lucky, killed in tornadoes from the same storm system. What started as a wild camping trip nearly turned tragic. They end up sleeping in the car, a move that earlier might have seemed overly cautious. Now, it feels smart. The story didn't involve ghosts or monsters. The real-world danger was just as intense and just as humbling. What do you think of this? A dramatic video captures a car engulfed in flames outside a home in Kentish Town, North London, reportedly owned by Sir Keir Starmer. The intense blaze occurred just days before an alleged arson attack at the same property. A 21-year-old man has been arrested in connection with that incident, as well as another fire in Islington. Footage shows the vehicle completely consumed by fire, reduced to a charred shell, as firefighters work to control the flames using high-pressure hoses. Counter-terrorism police are now investigating whether this car fire is connected to the suspected arson attacks. Reddit user CLover28 recently posted some disturbing home security footage that quickly stirred debate online. Viewers are divided. Some believe the eerie event caught on camera points to possible paranormal activity, while others argue it's more likely just a technical glitch or lens issue. In the original post, the user mentioned that their father had recently passed away, prompting them to question whether the unexplained incident might have been a sign or even a visit from him. Captured at 12:40 p.m. on their Wise home security camera, the footage shows an empty home, aside from their dog. What made the moment especially compelling for the couple was that it wasn't the first time something like this had happened. They'd already experienced 2 other incidents they believed could be signs from their recently deceased father, but this particular event felt more intense and emotionally charged. Viewers quickly jumped in with theories. One of the more detailed responses suggested the strange movement could be the result of how the camera's frame rate interacts with LED lighting, because LEDs flicker at high speeds, too fast for the human eye to detect. This can sometimes create bizarre effects on video, making it look like something is moving when it's not. Still, not everyone bought the technical explanation, given the timing and personal significance. Many were convinced it could be a real paranormal visitation. The emotional context struck a chord, with several commenters expressing sympathy and sharing similar stories of loved ones reaching out after passing. As for the original poster, they admitted to feeling both uneasy and strangely comforted by the idea that their father might still be near. Whatever the cause, the footage remains a mystery, one that lingers in the space between science and something much harder to explain. Crawfish are a staple in the US, especially in Louisiana, which leads the nation in production. In fact, the crawfish industry contributes more than $300 million to Louisiana's economy each year. But what most people don't realize is that crawfish farming isn't always as simple or as safe as it seems. This was made painfully clear to one farmer who found himself in a life-threatening situation while out tending to his traps. As the cage made contact with the water, a sudden and violent splash erupted, startling the farmer. It wasn't just the current or some floating debris. Moments later, it became clear that a massive alligator had latched onto the machine. This was a near-average gator. It was noticeably larger than most and strong enough to momentarily lift the entire trap off the ground with sheer force. The sheer size and power of the animal caught everyone by surprise. Fortunately, despite the wild encounter, both the farmer and the alligator walked or swam away unharmed, but it served as a shocking reminder of what can be lurking just below the surface in Louisiana's swamps.
I just left the doctor's office. I went to get a checkup because I've been off of Ozempic for 2 months now, and I just wanted to see.
Unless you've been completely off the grid, you've probably heard the buzz around the so-called miracle weight loss drug OIC, but according to singer Avery, there's nothing magical about it, and her experience suggests it might come with serious downsides. Listen to this.
Body was in better condition if there were any permanent damages. Kind of in shock right now because I wasn't expecting this, but I guess Ozempic can cause bone density loss, and I didn't think that that would happen to me because I was only on it for a year, but I have significant bone loss.
In a heartfelt video shared to Instagram in 2025, singer Avery opened up about a devastating consequence of using OIC. After a year on the drug, she says she developed osteoporosis, a serious condition that weakens the bones. Avery warned that while she was aware bone density loss was a possible side effect, she never imagined it would happen to her until it did.
Osteoporosis and osteopenia, so that I don't know, there's like several of them that I have. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what happens if you use Ozempic for weight loss.
She went on to reveal that a record label had got ties with her for not fitting their image, calling her too fat, that rejection made her feel like taking OIC was the only way to be accepted, both in the industry and in the mirror. Now she's warning others not to fall into the same trap. Whether you take her message to heart is up to you, but just know this, in my book, you're already enough, especially if you've hit that subscribe button. Just a reminder. On May 10th, 2025, an Instagram user named Jalisco shared a video that his son had sent him from a museum dedicated to Maria Sabina, a legendary Mazatec shaman from Mexico known for his spiritual use of hallucinogenic mushrooms. The museum features several wax figures of Maria to honor her legacy, but when Jalisco received the footage, he was deeply unsettled by what he saw. The clip captured something eerie, something that didn't quite sit right. Take a look for yourself.
¡Ay, hijo de güey, qué pedo! ¿Qué onda, amigo? No, amigo, no manejo nada de mecatrónica. Es una figura totalmente en cera. Mira, es una pieza total, rígida, no se puede manipular. Te digo, no tiene nada. Te digo, mira, te muestro. No hay cables, no hay nada, no es un robot. Es una figura totalmente.
Many viewers were quick to point out that it wasn't just her head that appeared to move. On closer inspection, her eyes and even her hands seemed to shift as well. Jalisco's reaction in the video felt genuine, adding to the unease. Still, in today's world of AI effects, filters, and deepfakes, it's tough to say with certainty whether this was something paranormal or just clever editing. Real or not, I'll let you decide. Whether you find pranks hilarious or downright irritating, there's a line, and this one definitely crossed it. In 2013, a 40-year-old woman named Leon Delacare became the unfortunate target of a cruel joke while visiting a home improvement store in Georgia, which started as a routine bathroom break, turned into a nightmare when she discovered she couldn't stand up. Someone had coated the toilet seat in super glue, trapping her in place. Prank this malicious doesn't just cause embarrassment, it makes the evening news.
Someone had apparently put a Loctite glue substance on the toilet seats.
I'm so sorry, but it's working. It's working.
Firefighters were able to get her out by using WD-40 to loosen the glue's grip.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. Whoever decided to do this hurt somebody. It wasn't a joke.
Miss Delacare said it took a shocking 25 minutes before anyone even realized she was stuck. When her situation was finally noticed, she had to endure a painful and deeply humiliating ordeal to get free. Her sister captured the moment on video as paramedics arrived and sprayed WD-40 on the seat in an attempt to loosen the bond.
You ready to try? Try to stand up. Okay. You can go straighten up.
I mean, it worked, but it's unsanitary.
After nearly an hour of agony, she was finally freed, though not without injury.
All I can do is lay here. It's defeating. I would just like to be able to get up and be normal. I don't want people to have to wait on me hand and foot like some invalid, because I'm not.
Off rip, I just felt bad for her because I knew she was going to be embarrassed, more than anything.
Some of her skin was torn off in the process, and nearly 2 weeks later, she was still in too much pain to walk properly. She definitely didn't see the humor in it, and honestly, who would? A prank that leaves someone in pain and unable to walk isn't a joke, it's cruelty. People received a complaint about loud music. When officers arrived to speak to the couple blaring that loud music, this happened.
And there's a difference between you, like at this level here, I'm not gonna come over and tell you to turn it down.
No, we understand.
All right,
it's not your
but
fault, yeah.
I mean, like I said, I heard it coming down the street. That's a bit loud.
I have a question.
Go ahead, ask
No,
away.
it's no problem. No, it's
no,
no problem.
no.
No, I know
She wants to
exactly
ask a question. She can ask the question. Go ahead, ask your question.
No. We're done. Yeah.
All right.
What's the ordinance?
The ordinance is for
time?
loud music, okay? It kicks in at 10, all right?
Okay.
And here's what I'm trying to explain to you guys.
Yeah.
If I can come from down the street and hear that, it's loud.
To who?
What do you mean?
It's loud to who?
Your neighbors are calling in about it.
Yeah,
okay?
we understand that.
My neighbors are calling.
All right, that's
Okay.
loud. The music has to be turned down to a reasonable level.
But we don't do
All right.
anything wrong, though.
No, you're fine. You can play your music, but please to a certain level, okay?
So-
Got you.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to ruin you guys' party, but
No, we understand.
when we
It's not
get
your
calls
fault.
like this, trust me, I mean,
It's a hell of a party.
they make it seem like it's whatever. But
No, we understand.
again,
I
you
know exactly. I know exactly where it's coming from.
The officer gave them a chance, and it wasn't long before they absolutely blew it.
Get a citation for this. Just letting you know you can get a citation, and I will write the citation.
They then got a statement from the neighbors, who I'm guessing were the ones that called the police in the first place.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, if you guys could write a statement for me in reference to this, okay? Obviously, we're not getting anywhere at all. Okay? So if you guys could write a statement for me about it.
Yeah, sure.
They obviously won't give me their information. They closed the gate, tried to call my supervisor. He's not answering, so that is where we're at. But if you guys could, I'm gonna get the statement forms.
Yeah, if you guys come over here.
All right, okay. Are you guys right here, right?
Yeah, right here.
All right, okay.
It bothers the other neighbors as well.
Yeah, and they don't say anything about
These
it?
people are in their late 70s. You know, they're afraid of repercussions.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Did you get a statement from them?
Yep, I got a statement.
All right, did you get their ID?
No, I didn't even, freaking tell me leave the property.
All right, let's go.
Watch the entitlement of the couple when officers confront them.
Who's in charge of the music? I'm recording. Who's in charge of the music? You're in violation of Monroe County ordinance.
How so?
Music. Too loud.
It's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
Doesn't matter what time it is.
No, get out of my house.
Doesn't matter what time it
Okay,
is.
well then you tell me. No, you tell me outside of my property. Do you guys own my property?
I'm allowed to be here.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
own this property.
Are you in charge of the music? Who's in charge of the music right now?
Are you seriously going to do this right now?
Who's in charge of the music? No,
Who's in charge of the music? Is it you or her?
somebody else with him here. Get out of my property.
Who's in charge of the music?
How's that so? How are you guys allowed to be on our property?
You're in violation of Monroe County
So,
ordinance.
how so?
Music.
How so?
Music.
Is this at 10 o'clock?
Who's in charge of the music?
How's this at 10 o'clock?
Get out of my
No.
property.
Doesn't matter what time it
No,
is.
how's this at 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock.
It doesn't matter what time it is.
How so?
You are on my
Doesn't
property.
matter.
Paper that says otherwise?
Come with me and I'll show you the ordinance.
No,
I'm
All right.
not.
Put out your drink. Put out your drink.
No, get the off of him. Get the fuck off of me.
Hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back right now.
Hands behind your back.
You need to move.
You're about to get tased. Back up. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Do it now.
Get off of me. Get off of me.
You want to fight it?
I'm not fighting you, Rob. Relax.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not fighting you.
Put your hands behind
I'm not fighting you.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not fighting you.
Stop.
I'm not fighting you. Let go of me, please.
Put your
I'm not. Please. I'm not fighting you.
Hands behind your back, man. Hands behind your back.
I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you.
Hands behind your
Man, you want to
back.
get praised?
You're about to get
You're about to get praised.
Stop.
All right, walk.
Are you serious right now?
Walk.
They were cuffed up in the cop car and confused on why they were being arrested.
Why am I in the cop car?
Your in here.
For what reason?
Ma'am, do you want to
For
get
what
sprayed?
reason?
Do
For
you
what
want to
reason?
get
I'm
pepper
asking
sprayed?
for what reason?
Could you put your feet in?
For what reason?
Are you willing to provide me with your name and date of birth so that way we can do this civilly, or do you want to go to jail?
What are you talking about, man? I didn't do wrong, man.
Violating the noise ordinance, you're not willing to give me any kind of identification.
Man, don't come in with
and
that
now you're
bullshit.
resisting.
I didn't resist.
You did. You were pulling away from me, and she was also resisting. Do you want to give me your information, like name and
From
date of
my
birth? or
own
no?
house. No. Are you?
You're about to take the ride, man. Do you want?
Well, do me a favor then. Take my shit off and make.
Do you want to go to jail or no?
Cause you
or are you gonna give me your personal information? Do you have your ID on you? Do you want your name?
No, you dude.
Nope.
This is bullshit, man. No, I was trying.
Sir, so I got bad news for you. I just talked to my supervisor, and chances are both you and your girlfriend are both going to jail tonight for your poor decisions.
Doesn't matter to me. It's fine.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. What was the poor decisions?
Playing the music too loudly, not turning it down per the county order.
Now I'm getting arrested on my own property.
Well, now you're getting arrested because you're refusing the ID and then you started resisting.
Both the man and the woman were accused of obstructing without using violence and battery against a law enforcement official. On May 9th, 2024, CCTV footage out of Bangladesh made headlines after being shared by local news outlets. It captured a Bangladeshi Air Force Yak-130 performing what was supposed to be a routine sortie. However, during a low pass, the aircraft suddenly executed a barrel roll. Whether this maneuver was intentional or a catastrophic mistake is still unknown, but what happened next was truly jaw-dropping.
আগুন ধরে গেছে আগুন ধরে চাই এটি ওই ফেলে আগুন ধরে গেছে আল্লাহ হারাইছে মানুষ আল্লাহ হারাইছে
As the plane performed the barrel roll, it rapidly lost altitude and struck the ground, but incredibly, it didn't crash outright. Instead, it continued flying for a brief moment before things took a turn for the worse. Eyewitness footage soon captured the aircraft trailing smoke with its engine on fire. Moments later, both pilots ejected from the jet. The footage is nothing short of stunning. Rescue teams quickly responded, and it was later confirmed that one of the pilots, 32-year-old Asim Jad, tragically succumbed to his injuries. The Yak-130, a Russian-made trainer aircraft often modified for combat operations, is generally known for its reliability and safety. As of now, there are still no clear answers as to what caused this incident. The so-called prankster took things way too far by putting himself and others in serious danger. He laid down in the middle of a road, waiting to terrify unsuspecting drivers. Thankfully, the approaching car noticed him just in time and began to slow down, clearly confused by what they were seeing. But just when you think it couldn't get any dumber, the man suddenly rises, like something out of a horror film, arms outstretched, and begins to stagger toward the vehicle like a zombie. The startled driver quickly throws the car in reverse to get away. As the car cautiously drives past, the prankster seems to be finished until he suddenly lunges again, giving the driver one final scare. It's the kind of behavior you'd expect from someone with no regard for safety or common sense. It's not funny, it's reckless, selfish, and could have ended in tragedy. In this video, a young man was riding his bike a bit too fast. The driver stopped to make sure he was all right. This has sparked debate. Is this a cyclist's fault or the car driver? Some think the car driver should have watched where they were going, whereas others think the cyclist was going too quickly. Let me know your thoughts. This brief clip was filmed inside a manufacturing facility in India and captures a troubling incident involving a woman believed to be the factory manager. Observe and see what happens. In India, hair holds deep cultural and personal significance for many women. Unfortunately, that made this particular accident all the more distressing. The woman was standing too close to a large industrial fan when her hair was suddenly pulled into the spinning blades. The force was so strong that it instantly yanked her backward. Thankfully, she wasn't seriously injured, but she did have to cut off a portion of her hair to free herself. This startling CCTV footage comes from the state of Rajasthan, India, and was recorded on November 13th, 2022. In the clip, a car is seen parking in front of a shop while the man's granddaughter remains inside the vehicle. The 4-year-old had just exited the car, reportedly to buy some chocolates. That seemingly minor action turned out to be life-saving. Moments later, another vehicle came speeding out of nowhere and slammed into the parked car. It was later confirmed that the driver was heavily intoxicated. He fled the scene immediately, but thankfully, no one was injured in the crash. A young one barely avoided getting struck in the head by a tile that fell from a building's roof during an accident that happened in Marseille. This does indicate the importance of always staying on high alert. What a miracle. In 2018, a serious train collision occurred in the northern Mexican state of Azotes. According to reports, a northbound train captured in the footage was supposed to move onto a siding to allow a southbound train, which was waiting on the main track, to pass. Instead, the northbound train remained on the main line, leading to a head-on collision. The crash caused 4 locomotives and 14 train cars to derail. Several crew members sustained injuries and were transported to the hospital for treatment, while others can be seen in the footage fleeing the scene in a panic immediately after the collision. There was a dispute between an employee and a customer, and things quickly escalated. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. The man strikes the woman with a bottle, leaving her screaming in terror as the man walks off. I didn't read any reports he was caught, but given the whole thing was caught on CCTV, he will be, if not already. Honestly, this Hong Kong footage is so terrifying I don't have the words for it. Take a look for yourself.
唔係咁驚啊！你推近啲，驚頭推近啲。
A powerful storm in Hong Kong caused the crane to begin wildly swinging, and residents captured the terrifying moment from their apartment. It looked like disaster was imminent. The crane seemed seconds from crashing into their building. Fortunately, it missed by mere inches, turning what could have been a catastrophe into a heart-pounding near miss. It's the suspense that made this scary for me. This strange occurrence involving 2 air conditioning repairmen in Manila on December 6th is captured in a 30-second clip. Numerous individuals think that professionals who were expected to be adept at their jobs were negligent in this sad event.
शेरी फोन सुनता सुनता मेरा ख्याल है पीछे जांदा है ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਟਨ ਆਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਬਲਾਸਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਜੀ ਬਟਨ ਜੂ ਹੀ ਆਨ ਕੀਤਾ
ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਥੋੜਾ ਸਾ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਸਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ
ਦੇਖੋ ਕੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੈ
ਥੋੜਾ ਸਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰੇ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ
While repairing an air conditioner, the 2 workers didn't realize there was a gas leak the moment one of them plugged the unit into an electrical socket. It exploded with the force of a bomb. Both men were standing dangerously close to the blast, yet incredibly, they escaped with only minor injuries. Hopefully, this terrifying experience serves as a wake-up call and a reminder to take greater precautions if they want to keep their lives intact. This truck lost control and tipped over out of nowhere. It's unknown how this happened. Was the driver drunk? Fell asleep? I'm still looking for answers. On June 29, 2025, police responded to a 911 call reporting a man who had fallen asleep behind the wheel while stopped at a traffic light. Officers arrived on scene and cautiously approached the vehicle.
Bangor, he's got white powder in the console there. Open up. Open up the car. No, keep your hands up and open up the car. Open up the front door. What's up, my man? Unlock the front door now. Unlock it. Put the car in drive. Don't reach for nothing, you understand? Keep your hands up. Just let go. Come step by the car for me, my man. You have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
All right.
After waking the driver and beginning to question him, they were caught off guard by an unexpected development. Members of the man's family suddenly arrived at the scene, creating an entirely different dynamic for the situation. What began as a routine welfare check quickly turned into something much more surprising. Watch and see what I mean.
You're not that steady on your feet, okay?
All right.
So grab a seat right there. Well, you're passed out behind the wheel, so... All right? Grab a seat for me.
Passed out behind the wheel.
Yeah, you've been sitting through these last 2 light cycles. Passed out behind the wheel there. Okay? You have any medical problems? Guinness, open, 5.6 alcohol volume, cold to the touch. Bag 57. Right there in the console. Multiple bags. So you don't have a valid driver's license? What's this suspended for?
That's a ticket.
For tickets? Okay. Whose vehicle? Your mom's? Okay. How much you had to drink today?
Anything from last night.
I can't hear you.
Anything from last night.
What's in the car? Well, that thing's half drank and cold. It's definitely not from last night.
What? A beer?
Yeah, the beer that's in the console.
Yeah, probably from the passenger.
Okay. I've explained to you basically how we've got to where we're at, okay? You were behind the wheel there for 2 light cycles. All right, you have an open container of alcohol in your car. You have some narcotics in your car, all right? But on top of that, you have some bloodshot glossy eyes, okay? You were unsteady on your feet getting out of the vehicle, all right? These are indicators to me of impairment, all right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn around.
I explained the instructions to you, yes, sir.
1, 2.
Put your hands together like you're praying for me. Thank you, then.
Man, you ain't go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
$907, okay?
Yeah, you
Which one's mom? You are?
What did he think? Well, I
We
didn't do
passed
everything you asked me to do.
and we
Did y'all videotape that?
Of course.
I want to
and we're
see
still
that.
recording.
I didn't see you stumble on anything.
Okay. Well, you don't know how to conduct field sobriety exercise, number one. Okay. So you don't know what we see.
I've seen them done
Number
several
one.
times.
Okay. Number two, you also don't see the large amount of drugs in the car, or the fact that his driver's license is suspended with knowledge, or all the other things going on here today that you didn't see, sir.
They claimed he did nothing in spite of the mountains of evidence. Things got crazy and they would all end up getting cuffed.
So respectfully,
What?
back up, back up. Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up. I'll change you right now. Back up now.
You're making it worse.
Back up
You're making it worse.
right now.
You're making it
Back
worse.
up.
Got him on the ground. Go
Back
ahead,
up.
go ahead on y'all.
I'm not gonna tell you again. Back
He's
up.
back. Why do you keep
Get off the
saying it?
seat
He's
now.
back. He's back.
Right now.
He's still standing back up, but he's not charging him. Like, what the f***?
Stay off the roadway. Leon, back up.
Nobody is coming towards you. You instead of saying back
Leon,
up.
back up. Put a supervisor out this way. Change it to a signal 1 with a 1015 and start us medics, please. Sir, if you don't stop, you're gonna go to jail. Hey, put your hands behind your back. 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 Now. No, we're done. Put your hands behind your back.
Let me drop.
You are under arrest.
Let me get my wife.
Put your hands behind your back.
Come on. Let me get my wife.
Back off him now. Back up. Put your hands behind your back. Back away from me right now. Back.
Stop. Touch me. Stop. Stop.
Cut it out. You hit me. Let go of my now. Last bomb service for you, please. We're fighting 3.
Okay, calm down.
Stop. Put your hands behind your back now.
You got a pound. Cannot do it. You don't have to do that. I can do it.
No, you're not going to punch me.
I'm not trying.
Put your hands behind your back.
For real, let me get up and do it.
Now.
Let me get up.
Put your hand behind your back now.
Let me get up and do it.
You don't do nothing. Put your hand behind your back now.
Hey, Japan, come on.
Get off my hand.
The driver, Byron, was ultimately charged with driving on a suspended license, refusing DUI testing, driving under the influence, and possessing a controlled substance without a prescription. His father, Gregory, was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and obstruction without violence. His sister, Sharonica, also faced charges for battery on an officer and resisting with violence. While looking into the case, we uncovered a lengthy arrest history for Sharonica in Palm Beach County. Her records begin in April 2021 with charges of battery and possession of synthetic cannabinoids. 5 months later, she was arrested again for failing to appear in court. 3 months after that, she violated her probation and was arrested once more. She managed to stay out of the spotlight for a while, but in 2024, she was arrested again, this time for possession of a controlled substance, twice, marijuana possession and drug paraphernalia. Around a year later, she faced additional charges for drug possession and intent to sell a Schedule I substance. Her most recent arrest is the one featured in the video. Hopefully this will be a turning point and not just another chapter in a growing rap sheet. Look at this stop signal for a green trolley. If you're afraid of heights, this kind of footage hits differently. There's something deeply unsettling about it. The what ifs are endless. What if the person did stop in time? What if something gave way or someone lost their footing? These videos tap into that primal fear of falling. The kind that makes your palms sweat and your stomach drop, even from the safety of your screen. While exploring the woods behind this old elementary school with his dog, YouTuber Ali H made a strange discovery, a GoPro partially buried in the dirt. He took it home and played back the footage, not expecting much, but what he saw disturbed him deeply. Ali described feeling physically uneasy and suddenly on edge after watching the video. He later asked his viewers to help analyze the footage, hoping someone might spot something he missed. So far, no one has uncovered its true meaning. One suggestion: reverse the audio. There might be something hidden in the sound that's not obvious at first. Construction workers are often overlooked and underappreciated. Does this make you appreciate them more? Look at what they're working on. Would you take part in this project? In 2013, 42-year-old Angela Stoll stabbed her neighbor James Scher in the eye with an ice pick and strangled him to death. She claimed it was self-defense, saying that Scher, who was 36 at the time, had attacked her and threatened her children. In a chilling interview, Stoll reenacted what she said happened that day, walking through the sequence of events in disturbing detail.
Grabbed the first thing I could, and
what was it?
It was an ice pick.
Okay.
I wrapped my hand around it, and this hand was coming towards my face.
And I still got this hand over here like this, right?
And
okay.
I went like that with it.
Okay, so I was coming at you, or Jimmy was coming at you.
Yes.
I got you like this, and I'm moving towards you, and you took the pick and stuck it in my right eye?
Yes, sir.
And what did Jimmy do? Did he release you?
No.
He's still coming at, still here and still coming. What do you do with this hand? Did he hit your face? Did he hit you in the shoulder? What do you
do? This hand comes up and does that number like that.
Okay. And meanwhile, this ice pick is still in Jimmy's eye. Okay.
And then I don't know how deep it was. I don't even know if it was that deep.
Okay.
She was originally charged with second-degree murder, but investigators later alleged that her true motive was financial gain. In a gruesome turn, Angela Stoll reportedly tried to dispose of James Scher's body by cooking parts of it in her oven. When that failed, she placed the remains in garbage bags and tossed them in the trash. Ultimately, Stoll was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Delta P, or pressure differential, describes the difference in pressure between 2 points within a system. It's a key concept in fields like engineering, fluid dynamics, and aerodynamics, where understanding how gases or liquids move through confined spaces, such as pipes or ducts, is crucial. But it's especially critical for those in high-risk professions like commercial driving. In these cases, a sudden pressure change can create a powerful suction force capable of causing catastrophic accidents. The following clips demonstrate just how dangerous Delta P can be, showing the immense suction it creates and the devastating impact it can have on marine life. Now consider what it would be like for a swimmer or diver to be in that circumstance. Wild, huh? On August 4th, 2020, a fire broke out in a warehouse at the port of Beirut, Lebanon, triggering one of the most powerful non-nuclear explosions in history. The blast devastated entire neighborhoods, killing 220 people and injuring over 6,500 others. The warehouse was storing thousands of tons of ammonium nitrate, an extremely volatile substance that should have been managed with the highest level of care. Unfortunately, critical safety protocols were ignored. In this footage, 3 women can be seen narrowly escaping just moments before the catastrophic detonation. It's terrifying to think how close they came to losing their lives. Had they stayed just a few seconds longer, they likely wouldn't have made it out. That split-second decision to walk away may have been the only thing that saved them. This is the horrifying scene of a huge explosion that rocked a chemical plant in Shandong province, eastern China. An employee appears racing down a gangway as an inferno bursts behind him. The employee then makes it to a nearby container as the route before him is consumed by flames. Several people have dubbed this next clip Motorway Madness, and honestly, I can't think of a more fitting title. The chaos unfolded back in 2021 on the A13, a major roadway cutting through London.
Cool. Listen, spinning. Get his corner, get his corner. Carry on. Be one, man. I know what you're trying to do. Pushing that. Yeah. Pushing that.
These individuals were reportedly part of a gang, pursuing another vehicle in what quickly turned into a dangerous high-speed chase. They could be heard urging each other to spin him out and hit his corner. Shockingly, they followed through with it. As of the last update, an investigation had been launched, but whether any arrests were made remains unclear. While on a training flight, Dutch aerobatic pilot Chen found herself in a terrifying situation caused by a simple oversight. During takeoff, she hadn't realized the cabin's locking pin hadn't been properly secured. It wasn't until she was already in the air that the cabin suddenly flew open, catching her completely off guard and putting her at serious risk mid-flight. The sudden malfunction created a dangerous and chaotic situation midair. With the cabin flung open, turbulence rushed in, making it nearly impossible for her to see or breathe properly. The roar of the wind was so loud it nearly drowned out her instructor's voice over the radio. Despite the intense pressure, she kept her composure and focused on landing the plane safely. Although she touched down without further incident, this strain had lasting effects. Her vision didn't fully recover for almost 28 hours. Later, on June 21st, 2024, Naren shared the experience publicly, revealing it had actually taken place 2 years earlier. She hoped that by telling her story, it would remind fellow pilots just how critical it is to thoroughly check every detail, no matter how small, before takeoff.
Does appear to be an authentic video.
Some believe the security camera footage reveals the shocking disappearance, and then 2 hours later, the reappearance of an unidentified abduction victim.
Recently, unsettling footage from the 1996 television series Paranormal Borderline has resurfaced. stirring renewed interest. The clip features what many believe might be authentic visual evidence of an alien abduction caught on tape. The grainy black and white video shows strange lights and unexplained phenomena occurring in what appears to be a remote backyard. Though skeptics argue it could be an elaborate hoax or camera glitch, believers point to the footage's eerie atmosphere and the lack of clear explanation as possible signs of something far more extraordinary. The chilling footage, submitted anonymously with an accompanying letter, was allegedly taken from a security camera feed. The video shows an eerie event unfolding at exactly 11:16 p.m. A man is seen casually walking through a gate. Nothing appears out of the ordinary until, in an instant, a blinding flash of light engulfs him and he vanishes without a trace.
There are 4 black and white pictures. In the top right quadrant, a worker walks right to left through a gate. He disappears here in a flash of light at 11:16 p.m.
The sudden disappearance and the intensity of the light have baffled viewers, leaving many to wonder whether this could be genuine evidence of an otherworldly encounter. The camera continues to record for nearly 2 full hours without any further activity until suddenly the man reappears in another intense burst of light. This time he is lying on the ground in a fetal position. He appears visibly shaken, clearly disoriented and distressed. Moments later he vomits, then slowly and unsteadily rises to his feet before stumbling out of view. The haunting sequence has left many wondering what could have happened during those missing hours and where exactly he had gone. The anonymous sender of the footage claimed it was taken from a workplace surveillance system. What's even more unsettling is that the man seen in the video reportedly quit his job and disappeared shortly after the incident. His identity remains unknown. The footage has since drawn the attention of multiple experts. Yvonne Smith, a well-known hypnotherapist and UFO researcher, pointed out that many alleged abductees report nearly identical symptoms: lost time, confusion, nausea, and lasting psychological distress. She believes this video could be one of the few visual records that support those claims.
People that they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Something happened to them, externally happened to them, that they don't maybe quite remember, but they know they became ill. They know that, they came back and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and what happened? I just opened the gate and it was 11:15.
Criminology and security systems expert Bill Schnee also examined the footage. Based on his initial analysis, he found no signs of tampering and considered it likely to be genuine. Renowned UFO researcher Bud Hopkins added that such cases often leave deep emotional and mental scars on the individuals involved. He emphasized the need for further study, not only to investigate the phenomenon itself, but also to offer support to those who may have experienced it. Despite the intrigue, the man's identity and what truly happened that night remain a mystery. Researchers have publicly urged both the original letter writer and the man seen in the footage to come forward. Their testimony could shed much needed light on one of the most puzzling pieces of alleged abduction evidence today. For now, the tape continues to fuel speculation and debate in both paranormal and scientific circles. If Dumb and Dumber do a remake, this would be a great duo to cast. Watch this. One of the men is reaching for an item that fell in the water while the other is holding his leg. Of course, this elaborate plan was deemed to fail as the friend let go of his leg. I guess you can say that deepened the issue. The Instagram page Alien Bioma recently posted 2 captivating videos sourced from Ring doorbell cameras, igniting widespread speculation about potential alien encounters. The first video, filmed on December 8th, 2024, features mysterious glowing objects drifting soundlessly through the night sky above a residential area in New Jersey. Just a few days later, on December 13th, 2024, a different Ring camera, also located in New Jersey, recorded a nearly identical event. Once again, mysterious glowing lights were seen hovering ominously above suburban homes. The fact that 2 separate cameras captured such similar footage within days of each other has fueled a wave of speculation online. While some suggest secret military technology or rare atmospheric events as possible explanations, the dominant theory gaining traction is that these lights might be authentic evidence of extraterrestrial activity. A powerful explosion recently rocked a battery manufacturing plant in China, leaving several people injured and causing extensive damage to the facility. The fire reportedly began inside a densely packed battery container and rapidly escalated. Security footage from the factory captured the harrowing 30 seconds leading up to the blast, moments before the entire site was consumed in a violent eruption that obliterated much of the building. Watch this chaos unfold. At first, the fire seemed minor, originating from a container of finished batteries, but experts warned that lithium batteries can be incredibly volatile, especially when they enter a state known as thermal runaway. According to Adam Barroway, an engineer with the UL's Fire Safety Research Institute, this process causes lithium-ion cells to overheat uncontrollably, releasing flammable gases. If those gases aren't properly contained, they can ignite as soon as they hit the air. Though the security footage lasts just over 30 seconds, it captures the terrifying force of a lithium battery fire and serves as a stark reminder of the dangers when these products aren't stored or managed with care. Recently, Reddit user NotYoursPB posted a baffling video that left viewers across the internet scratching their heads. Filmed in Sydney, Australia, the footage reveals a strange dark object drifting silently through the sky at a high altitude. Some commenters believe it could be nothing more than a camera glitch or a digital artifact caused by compression. Others argue it might be a flock of birds or a cluster of insects reflecting light in an unusual way, creating the illusion of a single dark object. However, the mass's oddly defined shape has sparked deeper speculation. Many viewers are leaning toward a more extraordinary theory, suggesting it might be an alien craft or some form of unidentified aerial phenomenon. With no confirmed explanation yet, the bizarre sighting continues to spark debate and remains firmly planted in the category of modern mysteries. One of the suspects in May 15th attempted robbery at a tiny grocery in Mococa in the interior of Sao Paulo perished while the other was taken into custody. The police are currently looking into the incident. On May 5th, 2025, 89-year-old Robert Markle was mauled by a black bear in Jerome, Florida. While black bears are generally shy and tend to avoid human interaction, they can turn aggressive, especially when food, pets, or territory are involved. In this case, Robert's dog had been locked outside, which may have drawn the bear closer to the home. Given his age, Robert had little chance to defend himself once the bear attacked. It wasn't until his grandson arrived and witnessed the horrifying scene that emergency services were called. What followed was a chilling 911 call that captured the panic, urgency, and grim reality of what had just taken place. Here's that call. It offers a disturbing glimpse into just how quickly nature can turn deadly.
Then I need FWC. A bear has got... He's already killed the dog and now we can't find... I'm putting my clothes on and I'm taking my gun and I'm going to go look for this bear. We don't know how long he's been gone. We just went because the bear just got the dog. The dog's dead. We went in to check on him in the camper. He's gone. The camper's tore all apart.
Oh gosh. I do have a call in with our deputies, and I wanted to transfer him over to you. And again, his address is.
The bear got into the home and took him. He's gone. The gun that just killed the dog. And the bear just came and killed the dog. What's going on? His camper's destroyed.
Okay, so you don't know where is at all?
No, he's gone completely. His whole camper was destroyed. He's not in there. He's 89 years old.
Did you see the bear or no?
Yeah, we saw the bear. The bear grabbed the dog, took him in the woods, and then let the dog go because we scared it. Then we checked on him. He's not there. He's gone.
Okay. It's okay. Just take a deep breath. We're going to take care of everything. Do you think that maybe he ran from the bear, or?
He's 89. He can't run. He literally he can't even walk without falling over. Right here behind, they come in and out right behind this camper every single day.
Okay.
There's freaking 40 bears out here. They come in and out every day, take garbage, and now they just decided to kill all that.
According to reports, one or possibly two bears initially attacked the family dog before entering the home and turning on Robert. It's believed the bear dragged him roughly 100 yards away from the house, where he was later found dead, marking the first fatal bear attack ever recorded in Florida. In response, local wildlife officials euthanized 3 bears found in the area. DNA testing confirmed that a 263-pound male bear was responsible. The DNA matched evidence collected from Robert's body, the scene inside the home, and the remains of the dog. This next clip captures a heart-pounding moment as a group of climbers found themselves on the ridge of Mount Ducono just as it erupted on August 17th. What was likely meant to be a thrilling adventure turned into a fight for survival in an instant. Take a look. Mount Ducono, located in Indonesia, is one of the country's most active volcanoes. It's been erupting almost non-stop since 1933 and sits along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a zone notorious for earthquakes and volcanic activity. In this clip, the climbers stuck around far longer than they should have after the eruption. How long do you really need to watch a massive plume of smoke before realizing it's time to get out of there? It wasn't until debris began raining down around them that they finally started to move.
Our 250th anniversary with an entity and a body that has done so much for this nation and that so many people have this incredible connection to.
In mid-June, Fox News broadcasted what appeared to be a routine interview with U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll. However, midway through the conversation, Driscoll made a statement that left viewers completely stunned.
As young Americans across the country get to see all of the amazing things that the Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great.
While highlighting recent accomplishments of the U.S. Army, Driscoll unexpectedly dropped a bombshell, casually stating that he had personally spoken with an astronaut soldier currently stationed on the moon.
Whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier.
The surprising comment ignited a wave of online speculation and debate. Was it simply a slip of the tongue, an offhand joke, or hinted something far more secretive? Conspiracy theorists were quick to latch on, claiming it might point to a classified military presence on the moon or a hidden lunar base. So far, neither Driscoll nor any official agency has provided clarification, leaving the public with more questions than answers. As the clip continues to spread, many are still waiting, hoping for someone to set the record straight. I suggested another Dumb and Dumber movie earlier. If they do, they should recreate this. After a flaming booze trick went horribly wrong, a young man unintentionally set his crotch on fire in this heart-stopping scene. Guess you can say that fired him up. Most people associate powerful tornadoes with places like Tornado Alley in the US, but this next clip proves they can strike almost anywhere. Filmed in the Czech Republic, right in the heart of Central Europe, a woman captures shocking footage as an F4 tornado tears through her street. Watch as the storm unleashes its full fury just feet away.
To možná jsme i bez střechy, dívej. To sem. To je normální tornádo. Miluno. To jsi neviděl. Dívej. Jak to lítá ještě jezdí. Ty vole, to... Milunko, my taky asi přijdeme o to. Nic si neudělaj, hlavně tam pojď. Ježišmarja.
F4 tornadoes rank among the most violent storms on the Fujita scale, with wind speeds between 207 and 260 miles per hour, 333 to 418 kilometers per hour. These twisters can level homes, toss vehicles, and leave trails of destruction stretching for miles. In this video, the woman filming made some dangerous choices, standing near windows and remaining on the second floor during the tornado. These are two things experts strongly advise against, as both increase the risk of serious injury or worse during such an intense storm. On Monday, May 13, 2024, a powerful rainstorm swept through Mumbai, bringing with it intense gusts of wind. While local weather reports said forecast winds between 20 to 25 miles per hour, no one anticipated the level of destruction that would follow. That's what makes the footage you're seeing so shocking. The storm's ferocity caused an enormous billboard to come crashing down right on top of a gas station. It's easily one of the most jaw-dropping incidents captured this month and has sparked serious concerns about the safety standards surrounding billboard construction, given that Mumbai has endured even harsher weather in the past. Many are questioning how such a failure was even possible. Rescue operations were still underway at the time of the last report. Tragically, 4 lives were lost, and at least 61 people were injured. In response, local authorities quickly opened an investigation. But as is often the case, it may be some time before any definitive answers are revealed. Hiking is meant to be peaceful, a way to reconnect with nature, breathe fresh air, and escape the chaos of daily life. But for 26-year-old Juliana Marantz, a tourist from Niterói, Brazil, What was supposed to be an unforgettable adventure turned into heartbreaking tragedy. On the morning of June 21st, 2025, just after 6 a.m., Juliana set out with a small group of fellow tourists and a local guide to hike Mount Rinjani in Indonesia, one of the world's most stunning yet dangerous volcanoes. As they climbed the steep, unforgiving trails, Juliana began to feel overwhelmed by the altitude and physical strain. Exhausted, she asked the guide for a break, hoping for just a few minutes to catch her breath. But instead of staying with her, the guide made a devastating choice. She hadn't just collapsed. She had slipped and fallen over 1,000 feet, landing on a narrow rock ledge hidden deep inside the volcanic crater. Trapped and injured, Juliana was still alive. People nearby later said they could hear her cries for help echoing off the cliffs that morning.
Itokol tamu nih, itokol andang tuh no.
Oh, itokol andang tuh kak.
Oh, itokol nih darat.
Enggak center dong, tidak lahan otak. Soalnya lu center naik sih kita berjudu kan.
Darat kepindah nih, itokol.
Lapun tas masih jauh tas no. Amin.
Ini tahu dia dari dulu pulang belakang tu sudah gitu. Kalau babakan di trek, memang dia tak boleh bangun dah ini.
Start. See, wait. This looks so scary.
Yeah, she looks very scary. She just keep doing this, so I think she is.
She's trying to.
Not very sober. Yeah. She just.
No tiene el móvil, ¿no?
Sorry.
Aléjalo, está desenfocando.
Her eyes.
Sí. Aléjalo.
But despite knowing she was out there, the rescue team couldn't reach her. The terrain was brutal, the fog thick, and the weather refused to cooperate. Every passing minute was critical, and through it all, Juliana remained alone, hurting, scared, hoping that help was on the way. But help never came. On June 24th, 4 agonizing days later, Indonesian officials confirmed what everyone feared. Juliana Marins had died. Her body was found wedged against the crater wall, nearly 600 meters down. It was only thanks to thermal drones that searchers were able to locate her at all. Recovery was just as difficult. Rescue teams had to brave treacherous conditions to bring her back down to the base camp at Sembalun. For her family and friends, the grief was unbearable, and so was the anger. They accused Indonesian authorities of delays, confusion, and even spreading false hope. At one point, officials claimed Juliana had been found and was being given food and water. That turned out to be untrue. The lie gave her loved ones soap, only to crush it soon after. Juliana wasn't some naive traveler. She was an experienced backpacker, someone who had spent months exploring Asia with confidence and heart. She was vibrant, adventurous, alive, and the thought that she may have sat alone on that cliff, cold, calling out, holding on for hours or even days, only makes the tragedy even more unbearable. Sometimes the scariest part of an adventure isn't nature itself, it's human failure. A careless decision, a rescue gone wrong, a silence that lasted too long, and for Juliana Marins, that silence cost her everything. On February 25, 2022, the Porea Fuel Company brought in a team of 5 maintenance workers, Christopher, Kazim, Yusuf, Rishi, and Faisal, to reopen an underwater pipeline that connected their oil unloading dock to the refinery. Their plan involved using a pressurized habitat to access and repair the pipe safely. But not long after the men entered the habitat, something went terribly wrong. All 5 vanished without a trace, leaving the surface crew baffled. The mystery deepened until rescuers received footage from a GoPro attached to one of the diver's suits. What the video revealed was chilling. It showed the team struggling to loosen a stubborn valve that kept the pipe sealed. Kazim left briefly to grab a wrench and returned moments later, handing it to the others. Then, just seconds after that, disaster struck. The moment the valve was opened, the low pressure inside the pipe triggered a deadly chain reaction. A powerful vacuum formed instantly, pulling water into the habitat with tremendous force. At the same time, the compressed air inside violently shot all 5 men straight into the open pipeline. The suction was so intense that the divers didn't even have a chance to react. In the blink of an eye, they were all dragged into a narrow 30-inch wide pipe, one after another vanishing into the darkness. All 5 men had managed to find a temporary air pocket inside the pipe, but they were barely conscious, struggling to breathe. One of them had suffered a leg injury, and while the air pocket gave them a brief window of survival, it was only a matter of time before it ran out. Faced with no other choice, 2 of the men, Christopher and Faisal, decided to try and find a way out. Navigating through the flooded sections of the narrow pipe was grueling. After pushing forward for some distance, Faisal's strength gave out and he refused to continue. That left Christopher on his own. Driven by pure will, he pushed forward alone and eventually made it to the end of the pipe, where rescue teams managed to pull him out. Tragically, his 4 co-workers never made it out. Days passed with little to no serious rescue effort. Ultimately, the remaining men perished inside the pipe, trapped, helpless, and abandoned. The company's CEO later justified the inaction, claiming that sending in a rescue team would have put even more lives at risk. The response drew heavy criticism and public outrage, prompting the regional government to launch an inquiry into how such a catastrophic failure was even allowed to occur. But like many industrial tragedies before it, the hearings led nowhere. No one was held accountable. No sweeping reforms were made. The only gesture that followed was a financial one. In April 2025, the government announced a $1 million compensation package for each of the deceased divers' families, as well as for Christopher, the lone survivor. This harrowing video captures the terrifying moment 13-year-old Maria Rita nearly lost her life when her hair became entangled in a pool drain at a private residence in MYUU, Brazil. What began as a normal day of swimming quickly turned into a nightmare as Maria struggled underwater, unable to free herself. The powerful suction from the drain held her in place, and despite her desperate efforts, she couldn't break free. Thankfully, quick-thinking adults nearby noticed something was wrong and rushed to her aid. They dove into the water and after several frantic attempts, managed to entangle her hair and pull her to the surface. Maria was unresponsive at first, but thanks to immediate CPR and emergency care, she survived the ordeal. The incident serves as a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers in even the most familiar environments and the importance of proper pool safety. May 31st, 2025, an insane incident happened on this train in Seoul, South Korea. A man out of nowhere began pouring gasoline inside the train. Bystanders, understandably in fear, bolted. As that happened, the suspect ignited the flame and the fire rapidly spread. Another camera shows smoke spread, leaving passengers in a state of fear. 6 injuries were reported. However, no casualties, so there's that to be thankful for. Reports state the suspect was a 67-year-old man who was angry over a divorce ruling and began scoping out train cars to plan this horrific act. He was caught and charged with attempted murder and arson. A horrifying crash unfolded on August 6, 2018 near Bologna Airport in Italy. It began when a tanker truck carrying flammable materials slammed into a line of stationary vehicles caught in a traffic jam. The impact was immediate and violent. The truck erupted into flames, setting off a massive fireball and sending thick black smoke billowing into the sky, visible from miles away. Security cameras recorded the exact moment of the collision, and just minutes later, a powerful explosion shook the entire area. The bridge where the explosion occurred was completely demolished. Panic spread instantly, and nearby drivers scrambled to escape the growing flames. Tragically, the tanker truck driver lost his life in the blast. 68 others were injured, many suffering severe burns, and several were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The force of the explosion caused part of the bridge to collapse, bringing traffic in the area to a standstill for hours. Despite the devastation, emergency responders acted swiftly, evacuating the area and preventing an already catastrophic event from escalating further. On April 28, 2000, 22-year-old Russian diving instructor Yuri Lipsky attempted to descend into the Blue Hole in Dahab, Egypt. This spot is considered one of the deadliest diving sites in the world, with over 200 deaths in recent years. Before his dive, Yuri asked several local technical divers to accompany him, but they all declined. The type of deep dive he wanted to do usually takes at least a week to prepare for, but Yuri insisted on doing it within 2 days. After everyone refused, he decided to go alone, a decision that would cost him his life. He began the dive around noon and quickly vanished into the deep. Hours passed with no sign of him. Worried, his mother reached out to a local diver named Tarek Omar to search for her son. Tarek eventually found Yuri's body lying near the bottom of the Blue Hole. The next day, he returned with equipment to recover the body. While preparing to bring Yuri up, Tarek noticed a camera lying nearby. He retrieved that too, and inside was footage that captured Yuri's final moments in disturbing detail. The dive began like any other, with Yuri swimming near a group of fellow divers. But as he ventured deeper into the Blue Hole, the others disappeared from view and he was left completely alone. That's when everything began to unravel. First, he failed to monitor his gas levels properly, leading to nitrogen poisoning that quickly left him disoriented. By the time he realized something was wrong, he was already sinking fast. In a panic, Yuri attempted to inflate his buoyancy control device to stop its descent, but the sudden change in pressure caused it to rupture, leaving him without a way to rise safely back to the surface. As Yuri continued to sink, the increasing depth only worsened the effects of nitrogen poisoning. His breath became more labored, and the camera picked up the terrifying sounds of him gasping for air. Moments later, he drifted all the way down to the seafloor, 377 feet or 115 meters deep, where his life came to a tragic end. The only faint silver lining in this entire ordeal is the hope that Yuri's final footage may have helped save someone else. By showing exactly what went wrong, his story could serve as a sobering lesson for future divers, one that might spare another life. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.